Hello guys, hope you're all having a great day, and I also hope you have a great weekend. Today I'd like to go over the Hogwarts Legacy quest to hunt for the missing pages, which is an exclusive quest for those within the House of Gryffindor. But don't worry, there will be no story spoilers. However, I would like to give you a little bit of advice. First, this quest will provide you with some pretty awesome gear, so before starting, sell any gear that you have that you may not own, because at this point in the game, it's kind of an early part of the game. So you're really not going to have a lot of slots for gear, and what you're going to find yourself doing is destroying gear in order to receive gear. And in this game, unfortunately, there is no benefit to destroying gear. Now, once you reach the location of your quest, one of the first enemies that you're going to have to deal with is spiders of various sizes. My advice here, as much as possible, is to keep your distance, and when crowded, keep moving and dodging even when there isn't an enemy right in front of you and you can't see any strikes coming. You'll also see some very tiny spiders. Do not take them for granted. They can take a lot of health out of you, and they can leap from very far away. The three spells that I found most effective at this point in the game was number 1, Incendio, which I consider to be kind of like a shotgun because unfortunately it's only effective at close range. However, it does cause a lot of damage to the enemy. Accio is also an awesome spell which allows you to pull ranged enemies close to you. It's very much like Levioso because it does levitate the enemy, but it also pulls them closer to you, allowing you to lay in even more damage. And speaking of Levioso, it's also pretty awesome and very useful, but in early game, not on large enemies. I say early game because maybe later in the game, maybe it'll get more powerful and you'll be able to use it even on large enemies. On this quest, there are some very simple puzzles to solve. In fact, they're so simple, I actually hesitate to call them puzzles, so I won't really even get into those. If it was anything very, very difficult or whatever, I would give you some advice, but nothing too difficult. Now, at this point in the game, you guys are going to run into these guys. I don't know what their official name is. Maybe someone who's familiar with the lore can tell us all, but I just like to refer to them as knights. Now, a spell that's going to come in very handy with them is a spell called Expelliarmus. I believe that I'm spelling that correctly, or rather pronouncing that correctly, excuse me. But these guys are very challenging, and in a way, they're slow and kind of cumbersome. So as long as you take advantage of that and just keep moving, you'll be okay. Now, of course, they're very powerful. They do take a lot of health out of you when they strike you. Expelliarmus is really going to come in handy. Now, you need to be a little bit close because if you use it from a distance, it's really not going to work because these guys are supposed to be kind of strong, of course. Now, if you'll notice those guys kind of standing there in the back, they're standing back there right now. But when you dispatch all of these guys, the little ones, they're going to wake up. And first what's going to happen, one is going to come out and challenge you. And then when you dispatch him, if you're fortunate enough to do so, then the other two are going to come. Now, you also notice that they're jumping in the sky, or they're jumping up high. The best thing to do is not to try to time them. I tried to time them to see if I could, put up my defenses before they came down. I tried to see if there was like a certain time that they would go up and kind of hang out up there and then come down. Maybe you'll have better luck with it. I found it best to just go ahead and just keep using the dodge button. And if you do that, I just about guarantee you, unless you just so happen to dodge in the wrong direction, I just about guarantee you that you're not going to get hit. Now, try to be a little bit close to them because when they come down, they're going to hesitate a little bit like that guy did. And then if you can, come up, you can use your regular wand weapon, and that's totally fine. That does take damage, as you can see right here. It does damage them. But if you can, come up and use the Incendio. Man, that really, even the big guys back there, that really, really causes damage. And when you use, now keep this in mind too, when you use your spell, they take more damage than when they're doing, like I'm striking this guy right here, he's still on his feet. I'm doing a little damage, but they take more damage when you hit them with a spell. So remember that too. Always cast a spell first and then use your wand. Your wand is most effective right after a spell. So hey guys, look, that's about it. Hope I didn't say too much. I know some people's impression of what a story spoiler is different. Some people are very sensitive to it. Hope I managed to stay away from the story as much as possible. And hey guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe.